when I started packing for my first surgery, I was looking at loads of forums and asking for loads of advice, and honestly, the list was as long as my arm. So I thought it might be useful for me to tell you what I'm taking this time, so that you've got a more condensed list than I had when I went in May. So I'll show you some of the bits now, and hopefully this will be helpful for anyone who's travelling abroad for surgery and doesn't want to take the whole world with them. Um, so let's start with bedding and towels. So I always take a dark coloured towel, um, just because of like leaking in the mess. It doesn't show it up so much. So yeah, I've got this big bath sheet to take with me, and then I've got black sheets for the bed in the hotel. We stayed in an Airbnb last time, and I was a bit worried about getting charged, so which is why we took these. But actually, they're really good for not showing any marks and stains. So I've got a black bottom sheet and a black duvet cover as well. And then I also have got a waterproof mattress protector. So you put this on underneath the bed sheet and it stops any kind of leaking going through to the bed. This was brilliant. And I actually noticed that there were some stains on the duvet, so we washed the duvet before we left. But it's really hard to wash a mattress, so this was really good for that. I got all of the sheets from Amazon just by searching. I'll try and pop the links in the description in case they're helpful for anyone. So that's kind of bedding and towels, and then just thinking about clothes. So obviously you need your compression. I'm really lucky this time. My MLD specialist requested 3 pairs of new compression in the new size after my first op. So I'm actually going with 4 pairs this time instead of 1, which is great. My old ones from May are absolutely wrecked, but I'm taking them anyway just because they're really comfortable and I love them. And then I've also got these, which are easy slides. I've got green ones for the lowers and then orange for the uppers. They make putting your compression on so much easier. I couldn't have done the last surgery without them. Getting compression on and off was hard enough with them. And anyone that's helped me with them can't believe how much of a difference they make. So taking those with me. I'm hoping as I'm having my uppers done this time, I may not need the lowers ones as much, but when you haven't got much strength or energy, they really help. So I'm taking those. Then let's talk clothes. So I was really stupid last time and took tiny knickers. And Dr. B cuts a hole between your legs and he cut the toes off my compression. Some people don't have toes on theirs, but I quite like having the toes. And yeah, I'd taken tiny knickers with me for the first couple of days. They recommend you wear your knickers over your compression, just makes going to the loo so much easier. And then once you have your first MLD session, you change your compression and then you can put them on underneath and then you can change your compression every day. But when your compression have got a big hole in them, tiny knickers are not helpful. So I've got big knickers this time, which is really good. And then I've also got these little crop tops to wear instead of a bra. They're from Marks and Spencer's. They're really soft and they give you a little bit of support. You honestly, in those early days, you just want comfort, so I'm hoping they will help with that. And then from a clothes perspective, I've got 2 of these loungewear sets. They're from a UK brand called Oasis. They're just wide leg loungewear. I've got one navy and one black, and they're great to put on over your compression when you want some comfort. But they also look nice too with trainers and things, so that's quite good. And then I've got some of these like t-shirt dresses. These are also from Marks and Spencer's. It's quite warm in Madrid. Even going in October, I've seen on the news it's like 24 degrees. So these little t-shirt dresses over compression are more than enough. And I got loads of wear out of those last time, so that's really good. I've actually got 3 of those. One of them is in the wash still. So that is kind of it from a clothing perspective, but let's talk shoes. So I took Birkenstocks with me just because I thought they were a bit more stylish than Crocs, but you really do need Crocs. Birkenstocks just don't have the same grip on them. So yeah, in those early days when you're really wobbly on your feet, these are amazing. And actually, I'm really ashamed to say I've worn them a lot at home as well since we got back, just like for pottering about in the garden and things. So yeah, I do have a pair of Crocs now and love them. And yeah, I would recommend you get those probably in one size bigger. I did get mine in a size bigger. It means that you can't really wear them out of the house because they look a bit silly, but they're very useful for in the house, so I would recommend those. And then let's talk toiletries, because this is the thing that I found the hardest. So I took loads of these puppy pads to help with leaking, covered the whole apartment in them from the front door to the bathroom to the bed, covered the whole bed in them, and then had very little leaking once I got home. So we had loads of very clean puppy pads. But I am going to take them this time, just in case some people leak more than others. So yeah, I would recommend you take those. I got a box of 50 from Amazon for like 10 quid or something. And actually since then we actually got a puppy, which they help with that as well. And then let's talk skincare, and self-care first. So for me, one of the nicest things post-op was getting out of bed and feeling clean. You can't shower for the first 7 days. It's not recommended that you shower or bath for 7 days. So I tried to find some kind of alternative ways to get clean. So baby wipes, I must have used hundreds of them. They're perfect for when you're feeling really dizzy and you just want to freshen up. So yeah, take loads of baby wipes with you. I use loads of them, especially in hospital. And then skincare. So I use this Elemis Pro Collagen Rose Cleansing Balm. They do one that's unfragranced as well, but I love that smell. Putting that on your face and like having a wash, just the loveliest feeling. So take your favourite cleanser with you. And I've also got the toner in that, which is the Hydro Mist. Yeah, one of my favourite brands. I do love that. And then I also take, people think I'm mad, but I also take my serum, which is the Ordinary Buffet. And then I take my moisturiser, which is Tropic Skin Feast. And getting up in the morning, washing your face, moisturising, you just feel like you. And that made a real difference for me. So I would definitely recommend taking all your usual skincare, and forcing yourself to do it even if you're not feeling great. And then I also take a really lovely cleanser. So this time I've got this one. It's not expensive particularly, but it just smells like a spa. And I take one of these as well to wash under my arms with. Even though you can't shower, you can obviously have a wash in the sink, and freshening up like that really made me feel great. So I definitely recommend you take some skin and body care. That does help you to feel normal. And then in terms of kind of the more medicinal stuff, so there are two creams that I used pre and post-op. One is Linavera, this one here, which is recommended by Dr. Burgos. Burgos? I keep saying his name wrong. Which is recommended by Dr. Burgos. And it's basically a blend of oils and aloe vera, and it toughens your skin up pre-surgery, and it stops you getting things, or it can prevent things like ulcers and blisters post-op, where your compression's rubbing, things are a bit sticky when you're swelling. So Linavera is one option. The other option is this one, which is Mepentol. I couldn't get Linavera in the UK before my op, so I got this one. I put it on morning and night a week ahead of my op, and then when I got to Spain, we picked this one up from the pharmacy, and I used this post-op. They are very, very similar. Some people say this one is better, some people say this one is better. I think, yeah, they're very similar. Dr. Burgos prefers Linavera, so if you can get that one, I would get that one. But I didn't have any blisters or any sores or anything like that, so yeah, I can definitely vouch for both of those. And then bruising. So I do take arnica for bruising. It's homeopathic, so it's not really medicinal necessarily, but my bruising cleared up really quickly. My bruises went yellow on like day 3. Some people have really purple bruises, but mine weren't really that purple. So I got the arnica tablets, which is these ones. You can eat them like sweets, they're not going to harm you. I took them morning, lunchtime and evening with my medication, and yeah, as I said, my bruises were quite good. And then I've got this arnica cream as well, which I would put on alongside my Linavera in the evening. So they were really good. I also have got this body lotion, and I did take this as well, this itch relief cream. This has got urea in it, which is really good for itching. So I would put that on after my Lina Vera. So let my Lina Vera sink in and then put this on over the top, and then put my compression on. And my skin was really good, as I said, so I can recommend that. And I didn't really have a lot of itching. Some people say that they itch a lot, but I didn't. And I also took this itch relief cream. As you can see, I have used it, but I didn't have a lot of itching, so I would just stick with moisturiser. Other things here, so paracetamol and ibuprofen, I've got loads of it here. You need a lot of it. Dr Burgos was really clear about not suffering with pain, and taking painkillers as you need them. So I took paracetamol and ibuprofen 4 times a day for probably the first 9 days. Some people stopped taking them at sort of day 5. I wanted to keep taking them, and I would say that my pain was probably hovering around a 4 or 5, but I didn't ever let it get to a point where I was in pain. I sort of took these before I felt any pain, so that was helpful. Take loads of them. I also take one of these a day, which is hay fever tablets, and I didn't have any itching, so I think they might be to thank for that, but I'm not sure. But they're not harmful, so I would take one of those every morning. This stuff is an absolute lifesaver. So when you come around from surgery, you're obviously dehydrated, and the team will put you on a drip, which is great. But in the post-surgery days where you can't be attached to a drip, these are really good for helping replace all your salts, and they are very hydrating, so I take those with me as well. The other thing that is super good, and a little bit controversial, is Coca-Cola. So when you come around from your op, Dr Burgos will give you a can of Coke. It's like medicine, and I found that when I was dizzy or a bit wobbly, Coke really helped me kind of level out. So I would recommend buying some Coke when you get there, popping it in the fridge, and then you've got it for when you come home. Last bits, so I've got this antiseptic wash which I sprayed my incisions with before putting my compression on. So I take the compression off, spray my wounds, put all the creams on, and then put the compression back on, just to help stop any infections or anything like that. And then on the kind of Dettol hype, I take a Dettol spray with me as well, and just spray everything before I leave for my op. I think that's probably a little bit anal, but I was really nervous about infections, and it kills literally all bacteria, so I can recommend that. Last couple of bits, so Dr Burgos will prescribe iron and also Herapin, which are the worst injections in the world, but other than that there isn't kind of anything extra that you need, apart from the tablets that I mentioned. The iron and the ibuprofen and paracetamol can be quite hard on your tummy, so he also prescribes omeprazole, which is this one, which just helps your gut. It kind of stops the tablets irritating, so he will prescribe that. One thing that came up a lot before my op was this, which is bromelain. It's a natural supplement that you take 3 times a day, and it's supposed to help with swelling. I can't say I saw any benefit particularly. I mean, I was so swollen, but then I also kind of don't know whether my swelling would have been worse without them. But I'm probably not going to take them next time because I don't think they made much of a difference. And then I also took eye drops, and I found I had quite irritated dry eyes. I don't think everyone suffers with that side effect, but I do take those with me as well. And then the last couple of bits, so I take these, which are glucose sachets. They actually taste really grim, and the texture is horrible. It's like drinking like the texture of bleach. It's horrible, but they do make you feel better. I still prefer Coke, but if you're stuck and you've not got any Coke, you can keep those in your bag, and they will make you feel better immediately. They're just like pure sugar basically. And then the last thing, which is amazing, is one of these. So we bought these, and I basically would put it under my foot and roll it along the floor, and it just enabled me to keep my legs moving, even though I was sat down. And I had a good recovery, and I sort of started walking pretty quickly. So yeah, I would definitely recommend taking one of those as well. I think that is everything that I take. I can't remember if I've missed anything, but I hope that has been helpful. I've got a whole bucket full of stuff that I took that I didn't use. Things like dressings, plasters, supplements, all sorts of stuff that people recommended. And this is the stuff that I use. So my case going over this time is much lighter, which is great. But if I can help with anything, as always, please just drop me a message on Instagram. Otherwise, wish me luck for my next stop.